நீங்க பேக் வந்துருக்கீங்களா? நீங்க பேக் வந்துருக்கீங்க. ஆங்கிள் மாற்ற முடியாது. ஸ்ட்ரெயிட் காமிங்க. ஃபுல் ஸ்ட்ரெயிட் காமிங்க. Your question, sir. Hello, bro. இங்க வச்சா your question.
I'm delighted to see you all here. Honorable Dean of Management Studies, who is also the moderator of the program today, distinguished speakers of the day, head of the departments of Management Study and Business Administration, faculty members, and all my dear friends and students. I feel so happy and so delighted as we are gathered here to engage in an enriching discussion on the theme, building capacity for lifelong learning in the context of future of work. This day's program aims to dissolve deep into the various aspects of dimensions of building capacity for lifelong learning. To begin our day, may I request Ms. Dwarika of First MBA B section to lead us with Tamil Thai Varthi. Shall we all stand for the Tamil Thai Varthi?
ஈராரும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமுடந்த கெழிதொழுகும் சீராரும் வதனமெனே திகழ்பரத கண்டமிதில் தெக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனும் திருநாடும் தக்க சிற பிறையுடலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனகே உன் சீரிடமை திறமைய திசையில் மறந்து வாழ்த்ததுமே
As we light the lamp, its radiant glows illuminate our hearts with love and compassion, dispelling the darkness of ignorance and bringing forth wisdom and understanding. With these words, may I request our dignitaries who are there on the dais to lighten the traditional lamp, Kuthuvilakku.
Yes.
கொஞ்சம் முன்னாடி வச்சிருக்காரு.
முன்னாடி வச்சு எல்லாம் கிடக்கும். நீ கையில் எடுத்துக்கிற கொஞ்ச நேரம் கையில் எடுத்துக்கிற ladies first. Okay. Can you sir? Okay. I will tell you what.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
One.
Sir. All right. Okay.
Certainly, honoring a country's anthem is an important and respectful gesture of every citizen of the country where he or she belongs to. We stand united, hearts filled with reverence. We honor nation's anthem as a symbol of unity, pride, and respect. Dear all, let's rise up for a mark of respect towards anthems. We will be acknowledging the Indian anthem, followed by Russian anthem, and then the anthem of Thailand.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जय गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Please be seated. We, the faculty members and students of Faculty of Management, SRM Ramapuram, feel incredibly privileged and blessed to have the eminent speakers and personalities as guest speakers for the day. May I request the Honorable Dean of Faculty of Management, SRM Ramapuram, Professor and Director C. Sundar, to honor our delegates now. First, Sir will be honoring His Excellency Mr. Oleg M. Abdi, Counsel General of the Russian Federation in Chennai. Next, our Honorable Dean Sir will be honoring Honorable Ms. Jankrajan, Deputy Counsel General of the Royal Thai Consulate General. Thank you, everyone. Now it's time for felicitations. As we all believe, felicitations keeps us motivating. Felicitations keeps us focusing. Felicitations keeps us growing. And of course, felicitations keeps us achieving. We have with us Mr. Abraham, who is the Assistant Director from International Office, Chennai. So he will be felicitating the gathering now. Sir.
Good morning, friends. Thank you. Respected chief guest of this August occasion, the Consul General from Russia and the Vice Consul General from Thai, Your Excellency, ma'am, and Director from Russian Counsel General, and all the dignitaries, and Mr. Jairam, the Deputy GM, and my dear friend Sundar, the Dean of Management School, head of the departments, professors. First of all, I congratulate all of you for organizing such a marvelous occasion, bringing in countries together. Let's applaud one another for the department for bringing such great gathering this morning. I don't want to take much of the time, just to give you a briefing about the SRM Institute of Management Studies has lots of connections across the globe. So we do have about 250 universities across the globe connections with. In fact, I had a detailed discussion with our Dr. Alexander this morning from Russian Consulate, and we had a detailed discussion with ma'am as well from Thai, and we would like to work together with you and make sure we learn your languages, number one, because we already teach our students 4 languages here. And guys, for information, we are going to soon start Russian language and Thai language for you. So it's a great opportunity to learn. Once you learn the language, easily you can fly wherever you want. Easily you can be there and talk to people and survive. It's not a difficult task at all. So if you're looking for internships, or if you're looking for even a shorter program with other universities from Thailand or from Russia, we are forming the bridge. We are working on it. So very soon it will be laid open for you to fly out. As of now, today, I want to present one important information for you. I hope your friends would have sent you the videos and links of all the visits they are making. Your own classmates are there in Malaysia. So today there are about 40 students of BBA and MBA together. They are in Malaysia, enjoying themselves and visiting so many institutions. This morning they are with the Ministry of Information and Technology. Yeah, and they're talking to the minister there, and he's hosting a lunch for them. So this evening they're visiting another university there and doing a workshop with them, first-hand experience with them. So these are all many programs that they've organized. So don't worry, very soon we are planning to make a trip to Thailand as well and to Russia for your kind information. So now the global village policy has come. There's no more as global country, it's a global village. Are you all with me? Yes or no? So more than my felicitation, I'm sure that you're all very keen to listen to them, right? Are you with me now? Can you keep your fingers free, all of you? Lift up your forefinger quickly, all of you. I said forefinger. Which finger are you lifting out? So please listen carefully what they talk, what their intent, and understand, and ask questions, and make sure lay your platform to take your journey further, not next year, this year in 23 itself. Your plan should be for December or January. During the semester vacation, you must take a trip and make sure if you are keen, I'm keen. For visas, we have a consulate here, so it's not a problem for us. We can all fly. Let's give a good applause that we're going to fly soon to your country, sir. Hope you're welcoming us. Thank you. Thank you. With these few words, I thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity to talk to you. We'll have a different session altogether with you and detailed sessions on international relations, the days to forward. But today we are very keen to listen about higher education's opportunities for us in respective countries. Thank you once again, and God bless.
Thank you so much, sir. So thanks for your heart-provoking wishes and felicitations. Thank you, sir. So now we have with us Jairam, sir, who is considered to be the part of Faculty of Management SRM Ramapuram. Sir, may I request you to felicitate the gathering now?
Happy morning. Vanakkam, namaskar.
and Swagatam to the esteemed guests from the two different countries who have come here to share their wisdom, share their knowledge, and a lot of insights accepting our invitation. This is a culmination of an idea, of Dr. Sundar, sir, the Dean of Faculty of Management. A couple of months ago, in a convenient or a very jovial conversation, we were talking about G20. Then suddenly, sir said, "Why not we have a program where we can have the representation from few countries who can share their wisdom and insights about the higher education opportunities in their country to our students, which will be of great benefit to them." So I thank His Excellency, Mr. Oleg Avdi and Madam Ponpran of the Deputy Counsel General of Thailand for accepting our invitation. And in fact, I knew that the Consul General, His Excellency, knew Hindi, but only this morning I knew he knows to write and read Hindi because he has also studied Hindi in Russia. Swagatam, sir, welcome. So I said it's a culmination of an idea, but it's beginning. It is also a beginning of new avenues for you, like how the Director of International Relations said. The two wonderful, esteemed guests will throw a lot of light on what are the opportunities for you to seize in their country to pursue your higher education and also to be a real superstars, learning more from those two countries, which has got very good potential higher education opportunities in their countries. So I thank the esteemed chairman of this institution for the wonderful support they always lend us, and to the leadership team of SRM-IST. And I also thank the HOD, Dr. Arimali sir, and the faculty coordinator, Dr. Billy Madam, for the wonderful coordination. And my thanks to all the wonderful students and the entire team of SRM for making this program a great event and a grand event. So we look forward to a lot of insights from these two esteemed guests. And I also thank and welcome Mr. Alexander, for the newly joined Director of Science and Education and Technology at the Russian Consulate, and my new young friend, Evgeny, who has been coordinating with me in the arrival of the esteemed Consul General. So thanks a lot. I look forward to more insights and inspiration. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for your wishes and felicitations. Dear all, without further ado, let me introduce the moderator of this program. He is the academic leader whose vision and guidance steers our department towards excellence. He is the one who plays a pivotal role in fostering an environment of academic growth, innovation, and achievement. That's our Dean of Management Studies, Dr. C. Sundar. We feel really happy and blessed to be the part of his team. Sir, now may I request you to initiate the session, and may I request you to take charge of the entire session, sir.
So on behalf of the management, SRM-IST Ramapuram, we extend a sincere thanks and gratitude to today's guest, His Excellency Mr. Oleg N. Avidir, Consul General, the Russian Federation in Chennai, Honorable Ms. Rodman Jangfranjan, Deputy Consul General, Royal Thai Consulate, for accepting our invitation and to be part of this wonderful program. And so I'm also joining with the dignitaries in welcoming the other representative from the Counsel General. So Mr. Alexander, Director, Science and Culture, and Ms. Jing from Russian Consulate General, and also from Kirti from Thai Consulate, and my well-wisher, Mr. Jayaraman, DGM, Market Development Business Standard, and Dr. Abraham, Assistant Director, International Office, and HOD MBA and HOD BBA. and respected faculty from Nightingale Matriculation School, Mrs. Selvi, Nandakumar ma'am, and my dear students of Nightingale and Faculty of Management, SRM-IST Ramapuram, and also special mention to the program coordinator, Mrs. Vini Mary. It's my role to set the context of today's discussion. And so initially we thought that we'll have such a kind of panel discussion, and then later we'll invite the consulate generals to present about the insights of higher education in the respective industry. So before moving to the topic, I have to make the tone for the discussion. So now we have Russian consulate and Thai consulate. So India and Russia have close ally, all you know that. But now Russia is governing Tamil Nadu. By how? Russia is governing Tamil Nadu because the chief minister of Tamil Nadu is M.K. Stalin, and Stalin is a revolutionary leader of the Russian from 1924 to 53. So in that way, now Russia, from the representative of Russia, is governing Tamil Nadu. So such kind of close connect between Russia, not only the India, even for the Tamil Nadu. The same thing from Thai. So Thailand is a most cultural diversity and close connect with the India, and a lot of language, Thai languages, most of the words from Sanskrit and Tamil. So you can know Thai, it's in our mother tongue, is a mother, and Thailand, it's in a motherland. So we have also close tie with Thailand. So Thai, it's in India, Andaman, Nicobar, longest maritime border is our Thailand. So we have close connect with both the country, and we are proud enough the representative from both the country they have with us today, and they are going to share with this. So now we are going to talk about the higher education. So before moving to the higher education, for the kind information to the guest. So here in the audience, you can have the school student, from undergraduate student and the postgraduate student. The students from SRM Nightingale Matriculation, so they are representing in the first row, so both boys and girls, and the representation from Department of Business Administration, the student from BBA, and also the postgraduate, the students from MBA. So now it's in a right audience, we can talk about the higher education. The bright school student, they are seeking about higher education. They are going to enroll themselves for the next year in the higher education sector. For undergraduate, they are planning to pursue their postgraduate and postgraduate. So if you interested to pursue their research. So this is the overall. And the Indian higher education sector. So we started higher education and education intellectual for the past 5th century itself. So we are the pioneer in offering education sector. So in the 5th century itself, we have Nalanda University. So one of the pioneer university in the world, in the globe, Nalanda University. Lot of students, they are travel from across the globe to pursue their education in India. It's a kind of Nalanda. We are rich in education. Our education pattern is somewhat very strong, and we created and we developed a lot of intellectual, not only for India, across the globe. So such kind of rich potential, rich culture we have. And in 1947, the time of getting of freedom, we have only 16% of the population. So we have the literate. So literate in the sense they know how to write and how to read. Only 16%. So probably out of 20 crore people, so only 16% they know how to write and how to read. But in 2023, so the literacy rate touched to 94%. So you can imagine the growth happened in the higher education or education sector. So by the policy of the government or the policy of all the policy holders, so we can reach out 94% of Indian population. So now they know how to write and how to read. But now we are not going to talk about reading and writing. Now we are going to talk about the new definition for illiterate. So now illiterate in the sense, if you are not continuously learning, so we are called as an illiterate. So before that, you know how to write and read, you are illiterate. If you don't know how to write and read, you are called illiterate. But now, so if you are not continuously update and upgrade yourself or if you are not continuously learn yourself, will be illiterate in the 21st century. Those category we called as an illiterate. So now we are focusing today's session. We are focusing about the importance of continuous learning. So a lot of research study they find out. So only 30% of job exists today. It is going to be vanished in 2030. So you can imagine that what type of new job will emerge and how this artificial intelligence will going to be take over and dominate in the different industry, unless otherwise we are not upgrade and learn the updated technology and latest technology. We call ourselves, we could not able to survive or we could not able to live. So such kind of scenario situation where we are, it is not applicable only for the student as you, it's applicable for the faculty as well as faculty ourselves. If we are not able to update and upgrade ourselves, we could not able to withstand this competitive environment. So like this, and in this higher education, I'd like to share a few statistics related, because as a student and as a guest of, they are going to talk about the educational prospects in the respective country. And here the higher education enrollment. So after +2, the student prefer to join in higher education in India. So we are touched only of 31 or 32%. And we are going to make the target of 50% in 2030. But if you take Russia, so they have more than higher education ratio, so more than 65% they have enrollment of higher education. And if you compare Thai, they reached 50%. So they are slight far ahead of what we have, but still everyone as educated, as a citizen of India, so we want to contribute ourselves for increasing this kind of level in cross enrollment ratio. And you can think of it yourself where you are. So out of 140 crore people, so majority of the people, they are not in a position to continue their education in the higher education institute. But you are as a golden opportunity, you are blessed one, you are in the right place and a very good place. And I hope, so today the insight what they are going to share, it will be kindly utilized. And also the context of today's discussion is, I'll invite His Excellency and Honorable Vice Counsel General of Thai. So after the introduction, after the presentation of Russian CG sir, and then I will invite the Vice Counsel General of Thai. So I'll allot 10 to 15 minutes for the Russian His Excellency CG, and another 15 minutes for Honorable the Vice Counsel of Thai. And after the end of each discussion, we'll have an effective and vibrant Q&A. Or after the presentation, we'll have about 10 minutes and a vibrant Q&A. So I request everyone, you can clarify your doubt or any other clarification. If you want required, you can have it. And also you can also suggest, so what else we can do it. I'm very happy to see that you are also eagerly waiting. I'm also eagerly waiting. And before moving to the inviting His Excellency, the Russian CG sir, so I'll read out the profile of His Excellency, Ms. Oli N. Avide. So His Excellency got graduated from the Moscow State Institute of International Relations in the year 1983 and entered the diplomatic service in 1983 and held number of diplomatic posts at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Russia and abroad. Then His Excellency was a Counsel General of the Russian Federation in Chittagong, Bangladesh during the year of 2005 and 9 and was elevated as a head of the desk at the Second Department of Asia, Ministry of External Affairs, Russian Federation during 2010 and 11. During 2013 to 17, His Excellency preferred to serve as a Counsel General of the Russian Federation in Karachi, Islamic Republic of Pakistan. Since September 12, 2018, His Excellency is a Counsel General of the Russian Federation in Chennai, Republic of India. Fluency in Hindi and English is an achievement and to be proud of. So now, by giving a thunder of applause, we welcome His Excellency Mr. Avide. And also, I invite His Excellency to have over the podium and we can share his views and thoughts, and it should inspire the young minds, not only for aspiring for higher studies and how to make it as a strong citizen and a strong human being to contribute a good thing for their respective country. His Excellency, I humbly request you to come and share your thoughts.
Respected dignitaries, honorable dais, members of the faculty, students, a very good morning, people. So we have gathered here today to discuss the role life learning for the development of individuals, organizations, and also the state. Any state that is interested in its development gives special attention to the education system, which on the one hand trains personnel capable of moving science and technology forward. And on the other hand, the development of science and technology requires more and more highly qualified personnel. Although no country has created a coherent system of life learning yet, universities around the world has been working on its formation based on the UNESCO strategy for 2014 and 2021. Issues of education development arose and developed along with the development of industrial production, changing the attitude of society and the state to the training of qualified personnel able to act in the new conditions of industrial development, since it was the development of industry that served as a stimulus for the development of education. Lifelong learning is an integral process that can ensure the development of the creative potential of a person. The implementation of it and obtaining satisfactory results can be fulfilled only if a person creates comprehensive conditions throughout his life. The main principles of lifelong learning are integrity of education, democratization, individualization, and cross-disciplinary principle. And all those things are very relevant at the present time. So I would like to present here a brief history of lifelong learning development in the Russian Federation, identifying key developments from the 19th century onwards. So the development of research in higher education, as well as the networks of educational institutions and industrial enterprises, are a very important component of the lifelong system evolution in Russia. The Russian system of lifelong learning in many aspects is based on the ideas of Jan Amos Kaminsky, who in his scientific work, The Great Didactics, outlined the user statements about the importance of school in upbringing and educating an individual, where this school also highlighted the fact that the whole human life should be should be a kind of school, and any age is suitable for learning, and one should only have to clearly define at what age and what person is more capable to learn. Jan Kaminsky, ahead of time, presented to the society the division of life ages and the use of appropriate schools for each of them. The first Russian educationist to develop a theory of adult education as an integral part of lifelong learning was Mr. Wachter, who lived at the beginning of the last century. He presumed that only under an integrated lifelong learning provision by Sunday schools, knowledge update courses, and public libraries, they could be ensured a wide range of educational activities for each and every individual. Hence, what should be particularly noted is the significant role played by private entrepreneurs in promoting lifelong learning in Russia. It was indeed their charitable contribution that enabled the implementation of Sunday and evening male and female classes, free libraries, and reading rooms back in the 19th century. While in 1908, the first public university was established in Moscow, sponsored by the Exchequer. The institutionalization and widening of adult education through libraries, clubs, and associations provided individuals with an opportunity to take the first steps towards personalized lifelong learning schemes, mainly for personal development and enhancement of self-consciousness, transforming their perceptions both of themselves and of the world around them. Actually, at that time, adult education did not coincide with vocational training. The beginning of the Soviet period and the history of Russia was marked with wide scale provisions of adult education. Mass literacy was achieved by means of out-of-school education, such as public universities, workers' faculties, recreation centers, etc. It was during the scientific and technical revolution of the 60s and 70s in the last century that a massive investment in knowledge took place in the Soviet Union, as Russia was known then. The new social and economic situation highly influenced adult education as well. From 1960 to 1970, the number of workers involved in different kinds of secondary vocational education increased from 10 to 19 million. Moreover, network of advanced training institutes affiliated to universities and enterprises was developed, while public university also gained popularity in the mid-70s, with more than 10 million people enrolled in them. Practically until the 70s, the field of lifelong learning was not a subject of thorough theoretical and methodological research. But nevertheless, the ideas of human-centered education and training, of creating the true human being, as propagated by Russian thinkers, Belinsky, Ushinsky, and the famous surgeon Pirogov in the 19th century, all of them largely influenced the Russian educational system, which has gradually evolved to be more focused on the challenge of life and learning, emphasizing that life demands constant development of human abilities, only to be achieved when learning becomes an intrinsic need. The serious social and economic developments in the 80s and 90s generated new challenges for lifelong learning systems. While the scientific and technical revolution urged human resources to pursue their professional functionality and advancement through lifelong education and training courses, the post-industrial society intensified, as well as the impotence of human adoption to ethnically and linguistically varied surroundings. Consequently, the boundaries of adult education overcame the professional sphere, establishing new trends for lifelong learning, which was not restricted anymore to the labor force, but addressed the whole population, including senior citizens and those people who have retired from active life. The participation of seniors in lifelong learning has actually provided them with additional possibilities in coping with social isolation and keeping active throughout retirement. Yet alongside the above programs, there has also been a substantial increase in the number of innovation-oriented enterprises, catering for the training of their employees in line with the needs of contemporary production, taking place in specialized institutes of advanced education and training affiliated to universities. So this has led to the emergence of new forms of enterprises known as learning organizations, which have been mushrooming around the country. The learning organization promoted organizational learning in order to be able to reciprocate with the environment, enable their employees continuous personal and professional advancement. The process of setting up corporate universities became very widely spread, and this was embraced by almost all large companies, such as Rosgostra, VTB Bank, and oil and gas companies as well. Nowadays, in Russia, there exist more than 30 corporate institutions. At the same time, The main types of social change have been determined: local, regional, national, and global. They all lead to the transformation of contents and structure of educational provisions. The study of several socio-economic issues has revealed the complex nature of research on adult learning and also urged the development of lifelong learning programs adjusted to the Russian reality. From a process of updating knowledge, it has been transformed into the process of lifelong qualification building, while researchers have realized that lifelong learning research cannot be conducted strictly within the framework of pedagogical science. It requires an interdisciplinary approach with involvement of scientists from different disciplines, such as sociology, economics, philosophy, and psychology. This has enabled a wider conceptualization of lifelong learning, while the contradiction encompassed in the concept, they have also surfaced. For instance, one of the main aims of lifelong learning has been the development of functional literacy, by which I mean the ability to solve arising problems in different spheres on the basis of practicable knowledge. However, research has indicated that in reality, not all people are able to develop this functional literacy. The lower one's education level is, the less he or she may be actively engaged in lifelong learning as a self-defense reaction, whereby adhering to the traditional culture, stability, and integrity of moral and ideological stereotypes. Also, there has been an explicit demand for student-centered approaches to develop both professional expertise and communicative expertise. This calls for methodologies that do not rely on sheer transmission of knowledge and skills, but on the creation of such situations that may promote self-education and self-analysis, so that learning can bring about changes in personal experience, transformation of motives and goals, and critical perception of one's expertise, demanding continuous efforts for personal development. Consequently, by the end of the 20th century, research in Russia had introduced new approaches to education fitted to the characteristics of adults as subjects of educational process. Well, it is still rather premature to claim that the field of lifelong learning has been exhaustively investigated, both in methodology and in theory, while its objective need to be more profoundly specified. One of the considerable disadvantages of this concept of lifelong learning often resulting in limited effectiveness of the educational interventions. Because educational characteristic and patterns revolving around lifelong learning have been very vaguely specified. Like contribution to humanism and democracy, learning for personal development, flexibility and transparency in educational provision, integration of educational structures and stages. Yet the methods, conditions, and attributes of the implementation have also not been clearly determined. The major development in lifelong learning is in the early 21st century, were largely defined by Russia's accession to the Bologna process in 2003, as well as the trends in the socio-economic progress of the country. In general, the interaction with European universities in the framework of creating a common space has greatly contributed to maximizing the potential of innovation development for Russia. Although there are numerous studies of lifelong learning both in Russia and abroad, researchers and scientists believe that no country in the world has yet developed a complete system of life learning, and the process of its formation still continues. So the government of the Russian Federation, as well as the governments of other countries implementing UNESCO strategies in the field of lifelong learning, use various methods, like creating internet sites with information about educational opportunities encouraging learning process using both budgetary and extra budgetary funds, promoting the development of free of charge training in the workplace, and also offering higher education funding for adults. All this is connected and done to satisfy the demands of the labor market, so that the requests of enterprises for specialists with interdisciplinary skills are fulfilled. Today, knowledge of a foreign language, in particular English or IT technologies, significantly increases the opportunity for a graduate of higher educational institutions to get a prestigious job in positions related to management, marketing, finance, and not only in international or multinational companies, but also in Russian companies associated with joint projects with foreign countries. So the choice of the employee is increasingly based on competencies like creativity, versatility, ability to adapt quickly to changes and respond to relevant challenges, to make complex decisions based on the analysis of the situation, and willingness to systematically improve their knowledge, skills, and abilities acquired during education process. Thus, life learning turns into a valuable tool for stimulation of industry, agriculture, and the whole business community development. So the structure of multi-level lifelong professional learning assumes its condition in many stages, just like professional orientation in schools and other educational institutions, primary professional education, secondary vocational education, and higher professional education, which involves academic learning, the purpose of which is to obtain theoretical knowledge and research and design skills necessary for future practical activities. At the same time, a need for educational programs by both Russian and foreign accreditation agencies is being felt. Postgraduate education, academies, institutes, faculties, centers, autonomous non-profit organizations of additional professional education, state autonomous institution of additional professional education, private institution of professional education. So the recent outcome of the implementation of the Russia's government policy to reform the system of education in the country has been the enforcement of the federal law, which is called On Education in Russian Federation. This law regulates the legal status of all educational organizations and individual entrepreneurs that provide training. It fixes the constitutional right to education for citizens of the Russian Federation and protects the interests of individuals, society, and the state in the field of education. And moreover, Article 3 emphasizes ensuring the right to education throughout life. And this is very important, throughout life, in accordance with the needs of the individual, the adaptability of the educational system to the level of learning, development characteristic, abilities, and interests of a person. The review of the regulatory framework for reforming the Russian education system shows that the documents of normative and programmatic nature are of great importance in determining the ideology and priorities of the state policy. Yet the effectiveness and success of the implementation of the state policy in education is largely determined by support and active participation of wide layers of society, professional communities, and citizens as the main consumers of educational services, as well as heads of educational institutions and regional education authorities. The attempt to modernize education has led to significant changes in the structure and nature of the education system. So it has become more open, accessible, massive, and student-oriented. In recent years, the number of universities has significantly increased. In Russia, 51 of them are public, and 51% of them are public and 42 private. Since 2010, the trend of increasing the number of universities slowed down because there are more strict requirements to open a university. That may be the reason for this. And the number of higher educational establishments was reduced. The main types of higher educational institutions in Russia include universities, academies, and institutes. It should be noted that about 70% of the student population are enrolled in the universities. So the analysis of educational provisions of higher educational institutions in Russia shows that lifelong learning initiatives are implemented via various types of activities, educational or scientific, and through different organizational forms like work-based learning, professional development, scientific societies, graduate and postgraduate courses, doctorate degrees, etc. In addition to the traditional forms of training, intramural and extramural, there have also appeared some new approaches, part-time and distance education patterns for the students receiving second higher education. It is noteworthy that the number of full-time students and part-time students in higher education has a tendency to come down over the last decade. However, the number of students receiving distance higher education has increased. The growth of distance part-time higher education has actually extended the enrollment of students, allowing them to get a higher education degrees remotely, continuing thus to work and without being compelled to move elsewhere. According to the available statistics nowadays, every second school graduate is guaranteed a chance to go to university. During recent years, against the background of demographic decline, these chances have probably become even bigger. For instance, today, 75% of high school graduates are enrolled in universities, in contrast to 25% in the mid to late 20th century. The particularly high competition in certain institutions is mainly associated with their high reputation rather than with a shortage of seats. In total, in Russia, the proportion of the population who had completed secondary, post-secondary, vocational, higher, and postgraduate education is considered to be one of the highest in the world. We can be safely assume that in recent years there has been a positive trend in the involvement of adults in learning, while the system of continuing education has experienced significant changes. The active integration of formal, non-formal, and informal components of the educational provision has greatly contributed to this process. An increasingly important role in that process of life learning is played by both non-formal and informal education. By non-formal, I mean courses, training, short programs that can be offered at any stage of education and professional career. And by informal, I mean spontaneous learning occurring at any place of education. Over the past decades, practically all the states in the world have given special attention to the development of primary and secondary education as the basis for forming the deliberate choice of profession that meets the needs for skilled workers in industry, agriculture, and services sphere, which in its turn are also making increasingly high demand on working professionals. In the Russian Federation, in response to these challenges, secondary vocational institutions are now being integrated into the structure of universities, thereby ensuring professional self-determination during the school period and generating the need for lifelong learning in future. The new requirement for young workers to constantly improve their knowledge and skills to be competitive in the labor market is made available to the public. Interest in them is simulated through participation of students in the championships of working profession and in the activities of the Union Young Professional, which is also called World Skills. Due to them, students from all over Russia compete in the skills of prestigious working specialists. such as turning on numerical control machines, welding technologies, floristics, car body repair works, cooking, carpentry, web design, and hundreds of other competencies. These events attract the most talented young professionals with well-developed flexible skills, which substitute now purely professional hard skills. More and more professions today are associated with the ability to find new solutions or make own judgment without relying on set parameters. Nowadays, life changes fast and very often in a very fundamental way. The ongoing technological shift is very dynamic. It is not enough to just routinely move forward. The world is changing rapidly and competition is growing. It's necessary to constantly improve one's standing. It's useful to study related disciplines in different departments because many of discoveries over the past century and nowadays also were made at the junction of different branches of sciences. And today we need cross-cutting education and research programs. And lifelong learning is a prerequisite and an integral part of the process to develop the creative potential of a personality. And now I would like also to dwell upon the opportunities which are offered by Russia in educational spheres. You know that Russia can boast of hundreds of very prestigious educational establishments, universities and institutions, and literature on this is available, of course, but I should give you some ideas on what it is like. So we have one of the most prestigious universities in the world, like Moscow and St. Petersburg University, and also what is more attractive to Indian students going to study in Russia are medical institutions, medical universities, and colleges. As of now, there are about 5,000 Indian students who study in Russia in medical institutions. And the number of them is growing by every year. And this year there has been an increase judging by the number of visas which we have issued at our consulate in the month of September, because in September, the academic year in Russian institutions starts, and all students go to Russia at this time. So Russia can offer courses in many disciplines, in many very modern disciplines, and also, for example, in aerospace. I think many Indian students are very much interested in this, and every year, the Russia-India Chamber of Commerce and Industries, they take a group of students to Russia, to major centers of space science, and to astronauts training center, to all those places where the space science started, and where it is, and to institutions where it is now being researched. So this is a very prospective discipline with great promises in future. And this may be one of the most attractive features for students from India. But of course, I say now that most of the students, maybe around 90%, if I'm not mistaken here, go to Russia for medical studies, because this is the more preferred subject. I think because in Russia, we have big communities. In some universities, there are several hundreds Indian students in some medical universities. So there's a big community, and they feel themselves like at home while being abroad. So there is another option for you students, which I should also talk about here now, that every year Russian government issues a quota for studies for foreign students. This year for India, the quota for 200 200 seats in different universities and institutes were allotted to India. So this is tuition is free, and the students are supported by the Russian government. So the process of selecting has started already, I believe, because Mr. Dodonov is in charge of this process. If you have any questions, you can ask him directly about this. So process has started. I think it can be found, the information can be found also on the website of the Russian Center for Science and Culture in Chennai. What disciplines are offered. There are many disciplines, also postgraduate courses are also available there. So some of you may be interested in this. So there is another form of exchange, educational exchanges, which I would like also to touch upon here, is the exchange of students between Russian and Indian universities. Normally this goes without, we don't know what is going, because this is purely done at the initiative of universities, but very often I go invited to speak at some universities, and I found they have already this program of exchanges, and students go to Russia and Russian students come here. Just recently I was in Hyderabad and discovered that just after I was there 1 month ago, and a few days they were expecting a batch of Russian students coming to the university. So, which was a pleasant surprise for me. I didn't know that, but these programs are being implemented, and these exchanges are going on. This is a very heartening fact, and of course we are all happy, and we are ready to give any assistance to any university to establish contacts with Russian educational institutions, and also to assist students in going there. Visa, as I said, is no problem. Visa will be issued. That is no problem. And I think this exchange of students, exchange of ideas is very useful, because they can also use their contacts in their future life, and in their professional life. So this is a very welcome. I very much welcome these activities, and I offer every support in this. But we have more questions on educational opportunities in Russia. We could ask Mr. Dadonov, who is present here, to answer them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. His Excellency, it's a very thoughtful and impressive presentation given by CG from Russian Federation of India. And the few takeaways, the few points so we want to take into consideration from the presentation from CG. So one thing is clearly elaborated the growth of higher education in Russia started from the year 1908, started from private university, and how they are focused in the development of higher education. They specifically focus on vocational education, and they're integrated so vocational education into the normal stream, and also how they are influencing the other people to take up of quality education. And one thing where it's really impressed, the thing is EQ. Normally, I correlated it as an EQ. So education and research, and education with employability, and education with enterprises. So Sir has clearly narrated how Russian development. So one thing is like education should related to research, should related to solve the common problem. So you have to develop the process and the product. It should be solve the common problem, so that Russians are the pioneer in science, technology, and the space exploration. And give a big hand. Russia is the first country to go for space exploration. Can anyone tell me the year, which year Russian explored the moon? They launched their spacecraft into the moon. So which year? 1969. So 1969, Russian launched the spacecraft, and they are the first country enter into the moon, followed by all other countries. Now it is in a moon race. So a lot of country, they tend to send the spacecraft. So all Russian defense, they are very strong in defense. So already sir is pointed out in aerospace, they are pioneer in aerospace. But one interested point by the presentation, so a lot of Indian students, exclusive for the medical education, the students prefer to take up their studies in Russia, and more than 5,000 students are pursuing their medical education in Russia. And sir says that there is no feel, I am in abroad, I am in India, but I feel that I am in Russia. So in that way, India's close connect with Russia. But the another important factor we want to take into is lifelong learning. For each and every paragraph, sir insist on continuous learning or lifelong learning. So today's topic also it's a kind of continuous and lifelong learning. We are also insisting to the student community as a faculty fraternity. So we have to make sure that we want to continuously learn. So a lot of avenues and lot of tools are available. So even online courses, you can enroll free online courses is there. So if we are not learn continuously, then it's our life will be coming to an end. If you want to survive or if you want to continue our life, so you want to learn. So other thing is like a private and government university, and how rural students also empowered to take up the higher education. How the Russian government for insisting in terms of rural student also. So all put together, so Russia doing very well, especially for the medical, space, science and technology. Even for science and culture, our director Alexander Sir is here to talk about the science and culture, even cultural perspective. Russia is a pioneer. So with these takeaways, and we'll also set the presentation on the key points what our CG sir has presented today to the student community. We also extend the invitation to the student community to visit Russia. And if you want to plan to enroll in any higher education, the country is wide open, and even for their felicitating for visa purpose also. So such kind of thing they're extended today. We are very much proud and fortunate enough to having such kind of personality with us today. And so with this, we'll give a round of applause to sir, and we'll have a Q&A, especially for Russia and the Russian CG sir at the end. So now we'll move to the next presentation, the presenter from Honorable Vice Counsel General of Thai. And so now I'll read out the profile of Thai. Then I'll invite Madam to present. Then finally, we'll have a Q&A for about 10 minutes. Then we'll wind up the session. Okay. So this is a profile of our Vice Counsel General of Thai, Ms. Pronpan Jankranjai. So, ma'am got her Bachelor of Science in Foreign Services in Edmund Walsh School of Foreign Service, Georgetown University, United States of America. She took a training in Asia Pacific Security Course, ASC 15/2, Asia Pacific Security Center for Security Studies in Hawaii. So what her experience are, during August 2000, she served as the third secretary, Myanmar Desk Officer, Department of East Asian Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand. In June 2003, she was the second secretary to the first secretary. And during 2007, she became the Royal Thai Embassy, Yangon. In July 2007, she started serving as first secretary, head of assessment section, Human Capital Management Bureau, Office of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand. During December 2008, she became the first secretary, Myanmar, Cambodia section, the Department of East Asian Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand. in June 2010. She was the first secretary, Royal Thai Embassy in Copenhagen. During January 2014, she got appointed as first secretary, counselor, News Division, Department of Information Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand. In July 2016, she became the counselor, ministry counselor, head of Chancery, Royal Thai Embassy, Canberra. During September 2020, head of International Security Unit, Policy and Planning Bureau, Office of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand. In the month of May 2020, she became the Director of North America Division, Department of American and South Pacific Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand. So now from August 2023, so Honorable Jang Kanjang started serving as Deputy Counsel General, Royal Thai Consulate General, Chennai. So this is a very length profile I read out Madam. So now on behalf of Faculty of Management, SRM-IST, we humbly welcome ma'am to present about the higher education opportunities and scope in Thailand. Ma'am, please, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. Excellency, Counsel General of Russia, respected dignitaries, member of faculty, member of School of Management, students, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Sawadee Ka. Before I begin my presentation today, may I start from asking all of you, has any one of you here been to Thailand before? Raise your hand. No. Oh, one. Okay. How about Russia? Has anybody been to Russia before? Not you, of course. Has any of you going to any country apart from India before? Wow. Okay. How many of you wish to further study abroad? Okay. That's why we're here today. Before I start, why should you study in Thailand? Let me ask, why should you study abroad? This is a question that I would like all of you to ask yourself today. Why should you study abroad at all? I faced with the same question about many years ago when I was at your age. I was a local student. I never wished to study abroad. I never wanted to enter diplomatic work. My dream was to study communication arts and work in the film industry. But I happened to got the scholarship from the Royal Thai government to study abroad. And at the time, I made a decision that if I choose the scholarship, it's full-fledged. I got job guarantee, but I had to study foreign service, which is something that I haven't planned. But it was a good opportunity. But most important of all, at that age, I didn't know what the scholarship is going to be. I don't know what to study, but I just want to get out of my hometown. I wasn't in Bangkok. I live with my parents. And one word that I make my decision is freedom. I want to be free from my parents. And I'm pretty sure that all of you here probably feel the same. Because a few years ago, I faced with the same dilemma when I had to ask my daughter whether she wanted to come back and study in Thailand and stay with me, or she wanted to be alone in a foreign country. I was in Australia at the time, and she decided the same, like mother, like daughter, right? She chose to study alone. She chose freedom over me. She chose freedom from me over me. Okay. So I guess you here and you probably feel the same if you wanted to study abroad. And today, I'm going to try to convince you why should you pick Thailand as your country of choice. Okay, next slide. I can think about a few things. Why should you study in Thailand? First of all, it's reasonable to study in Thailand, not only in terms of tuition fees, but also covering daily expenses like food, transportation, accommodation. We have a variety of all these things to fit your own budget and your own interests. They have like, if you wish to further study for advanced degree, you have a choice to study in a in-house dormitory or nearby self-service apartment. So there's a variety of things that you can choose from. Not only in terms of university and daily lifestyle, we also have a variety of higher education institution. If you wanted to go for a normal track, like most domestic students do, they go for university degree. And there are many universities that I'm going to talk about today for you to choose from. Or if you wanted to go for a faster track to study on the area of study that you specialize in, or you wanted to become specialized in, you can go for the so-called vocational colleges, which offer the specific area of study. Like if you want to become a chef, we have cooking school, or you wanted to be good in arts, we have like art school. Or if you're into film industry, we also have a particular school for that. And you don't have to get a university degree. You can get just a certificate or diploma, which can entitle you to enter the industry. And most, they also have like hospitality or medical tourism related courses that you can take. And once you get that certificate or diploma, most of the time they have a very good connection with people or business sectors of that particular area, that you can get a job training, in-house job training, and you might get an offer to train or to have like a full career all of it after you finish your study. Third of all, many universities in Thailand are very prestigious and they have made it the world class and international ranking system. If you look into the latest Timer Higher Education list this year, you will find that there are a lot of Thai universities making that list, and it has been on that list for quite some years. So it was widely recognized worldwide and internationally accepted. Lastly, is an opportunity to learn about our culture, to enjoy Thai food, Thai cuisine that you probably have tried in Chennai, but it's nothing compared to the real thing in Thailand, right? So this is the opportunity for you to pick Thailand as your choice of destination. Next. So if you want to study in Thailand, where can you go? Let's say if you wanted to go to a normal track, like I mentioned earlier, there are 3 types of universities that you can choose from. First of all, we call it a public universities, which is government funded, which means that it's slightly more competitive because it tends to attract the local students. And the admission process will be quite competitive because you have to compete with a local student, although they do offer international program or bilingual program for international students as well. But the tuition fee for this type of university are slightly cheaper, more reasonable. And more often than not, they also offer scholarship for international students, best not only upon academic performances, but also on other achievement like sport achievement, or if you're good in music, that kind of thing, you can apply for scholarship from this university, but of course you have to compete with the local student. And the list of university names that I put on this presentation are some of the most prestigious, most renowned public university in Thailand. The first one, Chulalongkorn University. Has anyone here ever heard of it? No? It's one of the most oldest. It's one of the oldest university in Thailand. It's over 200 years old. It was founded since King Rama V. We are now in King Rama X. So it's been quite a long time, and it's very good in terms of overall. It offers both courses in liberal art and science. The second one, Mahidol University, it has been there quite a while too, but over the past 10 to 15 years, it has established and restructured its international program. So it was considered one of the best international programs for public university in Thailand this day. The third one is Thammasat University. This is very good and well known for its political science system and legal law, school of law. Actually, we have a lot of Thai politicians and Thai former leaders who graduated from Thammasat University. And it's been renowned that this, if you are into politics and you wanted to become a think tank or political activist, you go to Thammasat University. They do offer other courses as well, but it's very popular for political science and public administration. The last one, Kasetsart University. This is very famous for science, especially food science and agricultural science, forestry, environmentalist, and fishery department. And it has been there for quite a while too. There are many other universities in this category, like King Mongkut Institute, which is very good for engineering and architecture, and offer many branches, including the international program. So this is some of the sample of public university. The second type of university in Thailand is the so-called private university. This is like the name already suggested. It's non-governmental, so it's 100% funded by the private sector. So the cost of studying there would be slightly higher than a public university, but of course the admission process is less competitive and is more flexible in terms of admission system. Not to say that its academic performance would be less, because the list of universities that I mentioned here is very competitive in itself and it's harder to get in as well. For example, Assumption University is one of the best universities for business administration in Thailand, and it offers the best international program in business administration. Very competitive to get in. The second one, Bangkok University. It's very good for communication arts and School of Engineering and also business administration. The third one, Asian Institute of Technology or AIT. This is one of the most famous universities for foreign students, especially from ASEAN countries, like our neighboring country, Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, Vietnam students. They like to go to this university, and they also have scholarship offer for those international students who come there to study engineering and science and technology. The last one, Rangsit University, which is very close by in terms of location to Bangkok University. They have a very good medical program and engineering program. There are, like I said, many other universities that you can choose from. The best thing about going to private university is that since the tuition is higher, the facility is slightly better, and they have more equipped campus and facility, and also very environmental friendly for international students. The last one is a so-called open university. Open university, I mean, is the main highlight is for itself or remote learning or long distance learning. And there are two top universities that open remote learning such as this, which is Ramapuram University and Sukhothai Thammathirat University. These are semi-governmental and / business funding. So the benefit of going to this kind of university is that you can learn from anywhere. I have exposure a lot of students, not only Thai students, but foreign students as well, who choose this option, and they never have to go to class in person. This is even before COVID time. You can just self-enroll, and you can design your own program. You can design your own curriculum. You can decide how many years or how many semesters you're going to take in order to complete the program. So it's very flexible, and it's more suitable for those who are perhaps learning and working at the same time. So you can study at night, you can study at home. They have a very good archive of self-learning facility. I have came across a lot of Thai students or Thai monks who living abroad and wanted to pursue advanced degree. We offer overseas examination system that was arranged by the university itself and the embassy, the Thai embassy or the Thai consulate office abroad. So you can register, and we provide a remote remote examination for the students, and you can graduate without having to go to class in person. So that's why amazing. Thanks. So when you go to Thailand, what do you study for most international students? These are the list of the top major that most international students go to Thailand for. These days, we still developing our country, and we are into civil planning a lot. So there's a lot of projects, construction projects going on. So we have a lot of engineering programs that are offered for international students. The next one is science and technology, or the innovation, so-called STI, computer science in particular, robotics and all that. We also have a very good aerospace engineering program at Chulalongkorn University. Is one of the best, even though we haven't been able to go to space just yet, but we do offer that kind of course. And of course, medical student a lot of international students going to Thailand for medical colleges. One of the shortcomings is that if you study medical in Thailand and if you wanted to practice in a country, you have to pass some sort of certificate for local in order to be able to practice in Thailand. And if you wanted to come back and practice in India, you probably have to pursue your own. I'm not sure, but I would suspect that you have to pursue your own certificate here in order to practice. And we are having very specialized in surgery, surgical, cosmetic surgery, medical course is very hot in Thailand, and also dentistry. Later on, I'm going to mention that we have a very good dental faculty that have already established networking and connection with some of the dental college in India. We also offer good public administration program and, of course, business administration. These are the things that most internationals go to Thailand for. Like I said, every type of university that I mentioned earlier offer both Thai program and international program in all, whether you go to public, private, or vocational school even, or open university, they tend to have international program these days, and it's become quite popular in the past 10 to 15 years. Actually, if we talking about education that are high school level, you will be quite surprised that in Thailand, even in Bangkok alone, you have a lot of international schools that are operated by the US, the UK, Australia, Japan, even China. They have, and it's become such a trend in Thai culture now to send our kids to international school. I think partly because we wanted to improve our English proficiency, because we are known that Thai students are very good in English grammar, but when it comes to speaking, we still struggle a bit. So in the past 10 to 15 years, we tend to see a lot of Thai families sending their young kids to international schools since a very young age. So I mentioned earlier that it's reasonable to study in Thailand, and that's why you should go and study in Thailand. But how much is it exactly to study in Thailand? Well, like I said, there's two programs. I think I make a little bit mistake in the slide. If you go for international program, the cost will be slightly higher than the domestic program. And of course, if you're international student, you pay more than the local student. So in every university, we start the semester in August. Now, they just adjusted about 5 years ago. And there are 2 semesters. So if you go for international program for international students, the cost will be approximately about 2 lakh per semester. So 4 lakh a year. But if you go for domestic program, you want to challenge yourself enough. It means that you have to learn completely in Thai. But of course, we do offer you like Thai intensive language program for international students if they wish to follow that path. The price of the tuition will be slightly cheaper. It's about 1 lakh per semester, which is pretty much the same with the local student. And if you wanted to finish earlier than your curriculum required, normally if you go for undergrad degree, it would take 4 years for liberal art. But if you go for science, especially engineering, architecture, or medical program, it would take about 6 to 8 years to complete your bachelor degree. And if you wanted to shorten, you can go for summer courses, which most universities do offer that, which means that I came across some students who take summer courses all the time and they can complete their bachelor degree within 3 years or 3.5 years. They also have joint degree program in some area of study. So you may spend 5 years and then you finish like both degree, dual degree program, like in public administration and business administration. So if all of this convinced you enough to study in Thailand, how can you actually apply? Most of universities in Thailand now offer online application process. So what you should do is you should look for a university of your choice, go to their website and apply online, fill out the application. But if you have a chance to go to Thailand for whatever reason, you can also apply in person. And the admission process in each university will vary depending upon your area of study of choice and the type of university that you wish to apply for. Normally, you will have to pass, for international program, you have to pass the English proficiency test, or at least you have the proof of the test score that you have taken. It can be international accepted program or some university like Chulalongkorn or Thammasat. They have conducted their own English proficiency test that you have to take, and they have like it's slightly easier to take the university test than going to for TOEFL, IELTS, or something like that. And of course, we also look at your past academic record during your high school year. For the domestic student, once back many years ago, when it's during my time, we have to pass the so-called entrance examination. So let's say if I wanted to study communication art, they offer like 100 to 150 seated per year, and I have to compete with about 20,000 students. So it's quite competitive. But this day we have changed the system into a TGAT system, which means you have, it's kind of like the US system that you have to submit your grade, submit your portfolio, and you also take a test of your area, your subject of your choice, and then they combine all the score, and then they let the university decide which faculty and which university that you should belong to. Normally, you can select up to 5 universities in terms of your ranking of where do you want to go most, and then it depends on how well you perform overall to be able to select and get into university. Like I said, some university and some faculty, especially the competitive one like medicine or engineering, you still have to go through a written examination. So you have to sit in for exam. If you go for arts, you have to probably have to submit like your portfolio. If you go for engineering, and if you have past experience of training program, or you participate in some sort of academic competition before, you can submit that as well. And once you pass the written examination, you go to the next step, which is oral presentation or interview. And if you pass that, you have also to provide your medical record, especially if you go, if you want to become a doctor or civil engineering or something like that, you must prove that you are perfectly healthy in terms to pursue your further study. So these are the basic requirements. Some of them I already have mentioned. When you apply, you must present with the English proficiency test score report, IELTS, SAT, TOEFL. And normally the score for international program, you have for IELTS, it has to be at least 5, but to be on the safe side, it has to be 6 or 6.5. TOEFL, maybe 550 at least, or 600. And you also have to provide the high school diploma or certificate. The one that you graduated from India should be fine. Your academic transcript, the copy of your passport, letter of recommendation from your teachers, or if you have like some sort of experience community services, you can provide it as well, and medical certificate. These are all the things that you have to submit upon submitting your online application. Okay, and like I mentioned earlier, we in the past 5 or 6 years, our Counsel General, our office in Chennai has trying to follow up with the government policy of bringing people of Thailand and India closer together. We believe in the people exchange, that one of the key to enhance collaboration and for closer cooperation between Thailand and India. And education is one thing that we are trying to pursue. So we have come up with a lot of networking between universities. And these are some of the MOU that we have signed over the past few years. First one is the MOU between SWITCON, Thai-German International Graduate School of Engineering, King Mongkut University of Technology, North Bangkok, which has signed MOU with the Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. The second one is MOU between Rangsit University and Christie Gianti College at Karnataka. We also have MOU between University of Thai Chamber of Commerce and the Christie Gianti College. And like I said, dental college is very huge, both in India and Thailand. So we have MOU between the faculty of dentistry of Khon Kaen University, which is in the northeast of Thailand, and Prince Songkhla University, which is in the south of Thailand. They both signed MOU with Sweta Dental College. And this is what we aim to do in the future, that we not only sign MOU, but we wanted to establish the so-called joint research program or the joint exchange program or joint degree program, because we have already started such program with university around the world. For example, we have Bangkok University, which is the university that my daughter currently go to. They have the joint program with many universities in Australia and the UK. So you have the choice to, let's say, study 2 years in Thailand and then spend 2 years in other country of your choice, and then you get degree, bachelor, both from both universities. It's called joint degree program. I'm not sure we have established that with Indian institution yet, but it's something that we are look forward to have in the near future. And we also trying to come up with a joint research funding. Sometimes it's very hard for our office to connect between Thai University and Indian University, which is something that we are looking forward to have cooperation with the SRM, because sometimes university, they tend to connect it directly with each other, and it's not with the government knowing. If we be able to get in touch with all this, it would be we find a way of how to assist and how to help, especially in terms of funding and all that. And we do encourage Indian students to come to study in Thailand. We have quite a lot now, because most of them have experience or have their family have been living in Thailand for a while. We have a lot of Indian community in Thailand this day, and we have a lot of mixed Thai Indian students as well. So we more than happy to welcome all of you. So I'd like to conclude my presentation because I know you guys are getting hungry. Me too. I think I like to end my presentation by saying that going abroad is not only about learning about different culture and broaden your experience about different culture, which is very important in this modern days when we have no boundary now. We have the so-called citizen of the world. So it's very important to get to learn and to adapt to culture that are different from you and the value of society that are different from you. This is something that you can learn from studying abroad, but it's not the only thing. I think learning from my own experience, studying abroad is about discovering yourself, discovering your own identity. When you go abroad, you learn about different culture, you find what is good, what is not, what is suitable for you, what is not, and you become a person that you would like to be. So I'm hoping that by pursuing your further study abroad, whether or not in Thailand or not, I hope that you all have the opportunity to learn and to discover yourself, who you want to become in the future. And I wish you every success in doing that. And I hope you find and achieve that purpose. And if you ever decided to pick Thailand as your country of choice, you are more than welcome to contact me or our staff at the office. We will issue you the appropriate visa, which is mandatory to go to Thailand. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, and Honorable Vice Counsel General of Royal Thai Consulate. So Madam has clearly explained about the scope and opportunities of higher education in Thailand. And she's also explained about the different methodology procedure to apply for Thai. And we are also very much interested to sign a MOU with Thai. We'll have follow up and do it. So here SRM is one of the number one multi-stream university. We have more than 55,000 students are studying in SRM. And we have from all disciplines, we have medical, law, management, science and humanities, engineering. So all disciplines we have. And so we are the A++ accredited university. So we have all laurels of SRM. It's a well-known brand in across the globe, and we signed more than 250 MOUs with the different university across US, Europe, and Asian countries. And we're also very much liking to sign MOU with even for in Russia, few university, if they are very much fond, they like to sign and jointly collaborate for the benefit of student community. And coming to an end, and so we have a Q&A session, but due to shortage of time, so we'll have a schedule at 25 questions, one from allotted to Nightingale, and one from Department of BBA, and probably 3 from Department of MBA. So quickly and so intellectually, you can ask, and you can ask to the CG from Russia and Vice Counsel General from Thailand. So now I request the dignitaries to sit aside so that you can request volunteers to put chair. So this way they can face the audience. So that Ram switch on the live. So in this occasion, I also request Mr. Alexander sir, will invite you separately. You can come and you can address to our student regarding of opportunities of science and culture and any joint study abroad program, so we can collaborate. So we can collaborate. Yeah. So now this is the time for Nightingale students. Anyone? Just speak nice. From the Department of BBA, please. You introduce yourself and let them know who you are asking.
Good afternoon, Karan of BBA department, and my question is from His Excellency, Mr. CG. My question was, as you mentioned at the start of your speech or the presentation, that how Russia came up with the human-centered type of learning. If you had any suggestions to give the Indian institutions of how to incorporate human-centered learning in their curriculum, what would your suggestions be, sir?
So frankly, I don't know much about how Indian universities operate inside. What is the structure of the university? I don't have much idea of it. But you can borrow any experience from any country and you can incorporate in your institution easily. So it's not a problem. But maybe you already have it. Are you aware of this? No?
I'm aware, but then there might be a few loopholes or flaws here or there. So if you had any suggestions in your mind,
I can't give any suggestion at the moment because this question should be looked into thoroughly. Yeah.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you very much. Now, representative from Nightingale School student.
I'm Shekhar Ram from SR Medical 11A. It's general. So, what are the benefits? So I have the question. For both of them, it's general. What are the benefits of a learning culture within organizations, and how can it be fostered?
Industry organization.
No, about the culture, where we are going to learn within the culture, how can it be fostered?
The study abroad program, if you go for the
yes, sir.
What type of culture, how we can learn the culture?
Yes, sir.
How we can go to Thailand, come to Thailand, how we accommodate culture?
Well, I think the study abroad is not about, when you learn about culture, it's not something that you can learn in class. It's something that you learn by way of exchanging and having friends with different culture, exchange views with your friends that are different culture from your own. So it's not, of course you can learn from textbook, but I would say what is more important and what is more enriching yourself, increase your self-value and broaden your knowledge is to get to know the people. So when you go to study abroad, you're not only going to class, you learn about how they interact, how they carry themselves in daily life. You can learn by watching television. You can learn by watching the local soap opera. That's what I do when I went to the States. I got to study the language. I'm actually learning the language by watching television. Television is one of the key elements that students can do. If you wanted to study languages as a guy, one thing you can do is get a local girlfriend. That's one way of learning.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. From student from Department of MBA, just last one question. So because we are MBA.
I have a question for CG of Russian Federation. Good afternoon, sir. So you were speaking about the distance higher education and full-time higher education in Russia. Which would you suggest for female students? Like, would you prefer for them to have a distance education or full-time education? Since we come from a more traditional background where our parents are usually hesitant in sending their girl child to other foreign countries. So which one do you prefer for these?
Well, the experience showed that full-time education is much more productive than distance education. People will have real life exchange with other students, with teachers, but which we will not have in the distance education. So I suggest full-time education. Even if you're from conservative background, so better you go for it. But of course, there are some circumstances which do not allow you to go for it. Then you can also opt for a distance education. But my advice is go for a full education.
Thank you, sir.
So my question is to both of them. Today's world, it's all about research and development. So what should be the actual practical approach coming up today from the students in? Because textbooks is not alone which help people to get the knowledge. So it's all about practicality. So, and research and development is being focused a lot in every country today. So what are your insights? How should the students get developed through research and development and gain more knowledge?
I think I mentioned earlier that today the world has no boundary. When you enter the internet world, you can do self-learning quite a lot, which can be a positive and negative thing as well. You have to be able to filter what is good, what is bad, which is something that quite critical as well. I'm not sure if you follow the news lately in Thailand. We just had a big, very unfortunate incident of the shooting in the mall. It's something that it show that social is changing and how online platform has become quite influential to the youngster this day. So I think Internet of Things is a very up and coming that we have to follow, but we have to follow with conscious and careful. It can be beneficial in terms of social restructuring, social development, as you mentioned, and we have to overcome the challenge. I think I encourage you to see the positive side of it and use your function. Don't just follow what you read, but also think of the impact and how you wanted to get benefit out of it, how you follow them without being trapped or addicted to them. And yeah, I think Internet of Things and web online social thing is something that we have to be focused on. Thank you.
Thank you, His Excellency Counsel General and Honorable Vice Counsel General for answering the questions raised by our student. So now, so we are moving to end of the program. So before that, as Faculty of Management, wholeheartedly thank all the dignitaries, especially Mr. Jayaraman sir, Regional Head Business Standard for continuous support for making this program a grand success. Sir, always the department is with you, sir. Thank you very much for your support making this kind of wonderful session. So now, after that, we have vote of thanks. After vote of thanks, we have photo session. So three categories, and first we'll invite the Nightingale student for photo, then the Department of BB from Department of MB. Individually three, we have photo session after the vote of thanks. And after it, we have another one national anthem, then we can leave. Okay, thank you. I invite the coordinator of the event, Vinny Mary, to express the vote of thanks.
Thank you so much, sir. So, wow, that was a very power-packed intellectual day. I hope you all agree with me. So now I stand in front of you all with a grateful heart, thinking about the entire journey of making of this particular program. So thanks to all the positive souls which helped us in making this day together. So let me begin with our Dean Sir, the one man who is always there behind us, inspiring us, motivating us, supporting us, because I can't forget the last 40 days he was with us. He was like he was interacting to the each and every organizing team member of asking about small things to the bigger one. And the way he used to motivate, nobody can do that. So it is a blessing to work with our Dean Sir, Dr. Sundar Sir. Sir, at this juncture, I really thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I'm thankful to the dignitaries. My special word of thanks to His Excellency. It was really inspiring listening to him. The way he put forth the things like what sort of education system is there in Russia, and he gave a very clear picture about how the system is running and how the system of education in Russia is supporting the other countries and how the Indian students are getting benefited out of that. So that was really good. So we are on behalf of the Faculty of Management, my heart thanks to you, sir. I would like to thank you in your own language. Balshoy Tashriba. Thank you so much, sir. Belch Rice Shashiba to Mr. Alexander and Mr. Hugh for coming over here. Thank you so much. And Madam Ms. Jaintrajan, she gave a very clear-cut idea about how to learn in Thailand. So as Abinsa was saying, Thailand, it's very much connected to Tamil. And definitely students who are seated here, definitely definitely would have got inspiration to learn Thailand. So, Madam, that was really good listening to you, and we are really grateful to you in your hectic schedule. Also, you were you accepted our invitation, and you gave us a very clear picture that how students can move forward to do their higher education in Thailand. Madam, on behalf of the entire team of Faculty of Management, SRM Ramapuram, my heartfelt thanks to you, ma'am. And I would like to thank you in your Thai language. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I would like to thank her personal assistant, Ms. Kirti, for supporting us with all PowerPoints and all. Thank you so much, madam. Next, I'm thankful to Abraham Stowe for supporting us in bringing all the dignitaries here, for giving us a very good felicitation. So on behalf of the Faculty of Management, I would like to thank him too in his absentia. And a special word of thanks to Jairam sir. He is a family member of Faculty of Management, because every time we organize a program, every time we come out with a new idea, so Jayaraman sir is always there to support us. He's always there to motivate us. So on behalf of the Faculty of Management, I would like to sincerely thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Next, our team, Dr. Anto Praveen Singh, Dr. Chidambaram sir. I would like to thank them because they were the persons who are running here there 24/7. Putting all the things together. So thank you, Andrew sir, and thank you, Chidambaram sir, for making this day. And next, I would like to thank our head of the departments, Dr. Arulmoli sir and Dr. Rekha ma'am. Their support and their motivation was really inspiring. So at each and every stage, they supported us, and they are supporting us too now also. So thank you, ma'am, and thank you, sir, for your help and support. Thank you, ma'am. And I can't forget the help rendered by Vijayarani ma'am, Priya ma'am, Lekha ma'am, so Shivagami ma'am. So they were always motivating whenever there was whenever we felt that we need a sort of support. So whenever we approached them, so definitely they were there to support us. They were trying to mash their shoulders with us. We were trying to march with them. So thanks for being there always, for supporting the activities, putting all the activities together on track. Thanks to Vijayarani ma'am, Priya ma'am, Shivagami ma'am, Lekha ma'am. And I can't forget the support rendered by Prakash sir. He was the one who was behind this live streaming. So thank you so much, Prakash sir, for your help and support. Loganathan sir, because bringing all the students together, giving them a sort of a tutorial session that what sort of things will be happening and what you have to do in the day of the program. So all those things, Loganathan sir was there. Thank you so much, Loganathan sir. We can't forget Ram sir. He's the one who always supports us. Because whatever intellectual sessions you provide, and finally, if you're not providing a very good lunch at all, it's not a complete thing. So Ram sir is always there to support us in all the lunch related activities. Thank you so much, Ram sir. And I remember Soumya ma'am, Darini ma'am, Satyabama ma'am for the help rendered. Thanks for the full support and motivation, dear ma'ams. Thank you so much. And I'm really grateful to the Vice Principal of the Nightingale, SRM Nightingale School. Madam, thank you so much for coming here, Mrs. Selvi Nandakumar. Thanks for coming here, and thanks for bringing your students here. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I can't forget my team of students who were there helping us making flags, then all the decorations, all the boy students, they were running here, then Pooja and the entire team of Poojas. Thank you so much, Pooja and her team. I'm so happy that we are blessed with very good students who are there to support us. And all the participants, thank you so much. I hope you had a very intellectual session today. And definitely this thing you're going to take forward in your life also. Thank you so much. So may God bless you all. Blessings and prayers. Thank you. Thanks also. So now they will rise up for the Russian national anthem. Actually, when the one which we heard was the Soviet Union's national anthem. So now this time we are going to rise up for the Russian national anthem, please. Thank you. Thank you so much. May God bless you all. Please be seated. Now it's time for the photo session.
It's square from the floor, come forward. But you don't have to sit down, just come beyond your hopping. Come on, come down. Go on to the